within the API specification, let me search for date. So what I want you to see is that we have two classes called date. One comes from java.sql and another one comes from java.util. Now let's try and see how we're going to use both of these classes which have the exact same name within our code. So within IntelliJ in here, let's go ahead and basically import the date from util. So we're going to say date and choose the first one, not the second one. And you can see that both have the same name. So here I'm going to choose the first one. Then we have this import statement and I'm going to say date equals to new and then date. There we go. So we'll learn how to work with dates later, but right now we're just learning about packages and the import statement. So now let's try and use the other date class which comes from SQL. So this one here. So have a look, date from java.sql. So I'm not going to choose from this menu because it's going to do something for us, but instead let's just say import and then java.sql and then date. Now have a look. So right now we have an issue, and that is, if I put my mouse in here, it says that date is already defined in single type import, which means that basically this date right here is already imported by this one and it's already used by this class. If I comment out this first import, now the date that we are using is from SQL and not util. Now what I want to do is to use both dates. So how do we do this? Well, when you have a clash, so i.e. two classes which have the exact same name but from different packages, the second conflict, you need to basically use the fully qualified name. So the fully qualified name for this is basically this. So let me just take this, and we cannot use the import, so let me just delete, and you say in here java dot sql dot and then date. I'm going to say date 1 equals to new and then date from SQL. So if I basically end up with semicolon, and inside I think we have to pass a number. Now you can see that this is how I use two classes which have the exact same name but come from different packages. So if this right here is already defined, then the second occurrence, you need to use the fully qualified name for the particular class. Now, obviously, you can also do the same here. So you can just take this and then remove it just like that and just like that. So this works quite nice, right? But the problem is, if, for example, you want to use date again, then you want to refer basically to the fully qualified name. But in reality, we never want to do this. So we always want to use import statements, and only when there is a clash of names that we want to use the fully qualified name for the conflict. So here, let me just import this class from java.util, and there we go.